Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Carrie Sauls. I'm a value growth advisor to the middle market and the author of the book, Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. I always start every episode with a little bit of trivia about New Hampshire, and today's trivia is about the company that produces yogurt, Stonyfield Farms. Stonyfield Farm actually is the next town over from me. And when you visit, they will teach you how yogurt is made, from the cow to the incubator to the cooler. And in addition, they give away free samples. So that's my trivia about New Hampshire for this episode. Today, I'm joined by Michelle Pascoe. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here with you, Carrie, and your listeners.
Well, this is delightful for me. Where are you hailing from? Because you don't have a New England accent.
No, I don't, although I'd love to live there after visiting it a few times. So I come from a small town called Camden, which is about an hour out of Sydney, Australia. So it's a beautiful part of both rural lifestyle and still being, an hour or so from the main city, metropolis, and the airport.
Perfect yes. Location to have best of both worlds.
Certainly is.
Well, this is terrific to have you here. Because our audience doesn't know enough about you, I'm going to first read a little bit about you.
Sure.
Michelle Pascoe combines her extensive experience and specialized knowledge with an absolute commitment to igniting the potential in every individual so they can achieve outstanding results. As an international speaker, she's a CSP. She established her business in 1994, employing 70 people. Michelle specializes in every aspect of service operations and processes, looking holistically at the overall impact of the customer experience. So that's who Michelle is. And today we're having a 7-question interview on the topic of how to lead a multi-generational team, ensuring that they turn up for work tomorrow. This is going to be great. So are you ready for my 7 questions in 7 minutes?
I certainly am. You probably have to edit me, but I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Michelle, who is your ideal client?
So my clients that I work with predominantly would have a team that starts from about 8, and some of them have 650. So it's a broad range.
And for these companies with this size team, what problem are you trying to solve?
So it's actually connecting and engaging the team members to provide a service experience that goes beyond what their customers are expecting.
That's nice and succinct. So obviously there's a problem when you're talking about multi-generational businesses. So my 3rd question is, what are the typical symptoms of this that you see owners experiencing or that they're talking about?
Look, it's all about that middle management leadership group. It could be team leaders, supervisors, duty managers. It's that group there that at times their values may not be aligned with the company's values, and actually they truly believe in the vision. So they go about operating in their own leadership style that is not congruent with the values of the organization. Therefore, they don't bring the team on the journey with them. And the issues that we have is that the customer then does not have the service that is what we're hoping for them to receive.
So there's a disconnect between what management thinks the vision and purpose is and what in their own fiefdom each of these managers is actually following through with the process that's expected.
Yes, that's true, because they haven't been really involved and being accountable for that vision. Many times they will come into an organization, Kerry, where there's, it's espoused on the wall or in the company handbook, and they don't actually know what it means. So they just come in with the previous baggage of how they've led before, and they just do that. And then therefore they don't have a united leadership team. And as soon as you don't have a united leadership team, then we all know that the frontline team will separate them. They will prefer to work with others and not work for this person. And you're not getting the whole team working together. And that's what's caused disunity. And then nobody in the business succeeds.
Well, that's just it. Performance and success fall down because you don't have that. So My fourth question, building on that, is what are the most common mistakes that you see owners making when they try to address it themselves?
Yeah, and this is it, that they try to get back into the business and trying to do all the things that they need to be doing. And now they're going back into a real key HR role that some may be good at, but others, they're better at some other skill sets. So there's two key distinct people. There's the one who then turns around and leads from that micromanaging, performance managing, not so much threatening, but that, if you don't do this, this is what the outcome's going to be. It's not going to be pretty, we've got to work together. It's not bringing people on the journey. It's telling them what they have to do or look out for the consequences. It's not a nice way, because what they're not doing is displaying the values of the company through their actions and behaviours. And if they don't display it, I can tell you now, Kerry, your team and your customers will then work out what they believe your values are. So that's one. The other then is the leader who just doesn't build trust in their team. And how do they build trust, as you would know, and many of your listeners, is through delegation. If you don't delegate, yeah, sure, we can all do it better, quicker, faster, whatever it might be, as the owners or the leaders of our businesses. But if we don't delegate, not abdicate, but actually delegate responsibilities to our frontline team members, then they just go, well, then why bother? And they don't, if you don't trust us to do that, and sure, they're going to make mistakes, aren't they, Kerry? They will make mistakes. But that's how we learn. That's how we get other people's ideas. And that's what's critical. So when we have those two people or those two, ideas of what that leadership person is trying to do, there is no success. What we're looking for is a team leader who goes, okay, I'm actually going to be vulnerable in the workplace. I'm actually going to show the actions and behaviours that are behind the values and the vision of my business or the business that I work for. And then I will trust my team and I will show them, how we can do things together, not just being that micromanager or demanding from their point of authority.
Therefore, what's one free, valuable action that you can recommend that my audience members can actually implement right now that's going to help them and increase the value of their business?
It's creating commonalities. It's connecting conversations, Kerry. I've done this quite a lot with some very large teams. It's a quick team exercise. Have a staff meeting, break everybody up into groups of 3. Then say to them, find 3 things that you have in common. And what is this going to have to make them do? They're going to have to talk to each other. So when they come into that staff room, break them up. Actually tell them you're going to sit there, so they're not sitting there with their best friends. And when they have to have a conversation about, well, what are 3 things we've got in common? They learn about each other. They learn that person who may be a baby boomer and they're a Gen Z, it's something interesting. I work with companies that have got 5 generations in their teams, 18 to 82. It's phenomenal. But when they get together, what we're finding most with Gen Z is they don't have the opportunities perhaps we did once with our grandparents being nearby, whether that's through choice or through distance. So what they love doing is hearing from older generations, the wisdom. Why do they do this? What gets them up every morning? Truly, they'd want to hear that as much as earlier generations learn from the ones that are coming through now. It's very important. So to me, that's one of the key things. Create those commonalities, then they will learn something about each other, then it's something more, and they understand where people are coming from. That's what grows a business. That's what grows a team.
Michelle, my 6th question, what's one valuable free resource that you can direct people to that's going to help them further solve this problem? And we're down to 1 minute.
Okay, so go to michellpascoe.com. That's MICHELLEPASCOE.com/blog. All my articles are there. Right at the bottom page, there's one is, how do you lead an intergenerational team, with some further tips for you.
Perfect. And the last question is really turn the tables on you. What's one question I should have asked you, Michelle, and I didn't? What would be that question, and what would be the answer that you could share, please?
Understanding people's journey. How do you as a leader ignite the potential in somebody in your team? Because not everybody knows what's inside them and that the greatness that they have. A true leader, the best leader, is the person that sees that, ignites that, and see that person grow.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Michelle Pascoe, for joining me here on the 3X Value Growth Podcast. Thank you for your time.
Loved being part of it. Thank you so much, Kerry, and look forward to meeting you one day in New Hampshire.
Perfect. Thanks for checking out the 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head over to iTunes and subscribe, leave us a review, or rate us. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to learn more about the 3X Value Growth model, go to www.3xvaluegrowth.com/model for the PDF.